Hello Alec. I am a recent subscriber, but from the start of my poker career, your YouTube videos have really helped me improve. I think that you're a very intelligent and analytical player, and I also think you're a really nice guy who always maintains class and etiquette on the poker table. Thank you for inspiring me to become a better player. I have a hand that I think is a great contender for Hand of the Day. I thank you in advance for taking the time to read this. I was playing a £1-2 cash game at my local casino. It was 9-seated, and I had been playing relatively well. I have around 20% above starting stack, but hadn't really been involved in a big pot. I like to play a lot in position and take down a lot of relatively small pots, and that's what I had been doing with some success. The villain here was on the button. He was a relatively new sit-down on the table, and I didn't have a chance to get many reads on him. My stack size was around 240 and his stack was around 160, so not extremely deep, but deep enough. About an hour and a half in, I get dealt Queen 10 of spades in middle position. It folds to me and I decide to just limp for 2. It then folds around to the button, who also just limps for 2. Small blind folds. Big blind checks.
To the flop.
The flop comes ace of clubs and pair of kings. Diamonds and spades. The big blind checks. I decide to bet 6. Just to try and take the pot down there, and then because I feel it is such a scary board, and do not think I'd get a floater on that board. The button then min raises to 12. Big blind folds. I call. I feel like I'm getting a pretty good price, because I know a jack would give me an ace high straight and any spade would give me a flush draw. And if I did miss the jack or spade, I could get away from the hand on turn for free by check folding. Turn is a jack of spades. I try to contain my happiness. At this point I'm pretty confident I'm ahead to anything he could have, given that the only thing that beats my hand now is a full house. I completely disregard a full house being within his range because on ace, 2 kings and jack board he would either need pair of aces, king jack or pair of jacks, and he did not raise pre-flop on the button. So I put him on king x anyway. I am first to act and I check. He bets 21. I decided to re-raise to 65. He calls. River card is a 10 of diamonds. I asked him how much he had left and immediately proceeded to bet 80, which was the rest of his remaining stack. He snaps calls me. He turns of king jack of clubs.
You just got crushed.
I was absolutely shocked, as were the other players at the table who had been watching the hand. At every street I was really thinking that he couldn't have a great starting hand. Pair of aces, pair of kings, pair of jacks, pair of tens, king jack or king 10, were what I knew beat me, but, as I said before, him limping the flop really put me off range. I don't think I could ever limp the flop on button given the previous action with king jack suited. I really do need this hand explaining to me and some light shed on the situation from a very successful poker player such as yourself. I also think it would be great for viewer learning, since a lot of people are unsure of how to play hands when big scary cards occupy the flop. I hope you consider this for Hand of the Day. Cheers, Chris.